Hello and welcome. My name is Dan Aberhart from Aberhart Ag Solutions, and today we're having a conversation about the new and upcoming Convergence Conference that's being held at the Doubletree in Regina in February. The theme of the conference is Think, Link, and Leap, and we'll be talking more about that. But on the call today, we have some of the founders and the visionaries and the organizers behind this awesome initiative that we want you to come and join us at. We have Warren Bills from Convergence Growth. We have Terry Aberhart from Aberhart Farms, and none other than the legendary marketer Ben Graham from Ad Farm. So we want to give you a sneak peek. It's kind of a save the date type of theme today. So Warren, tell us what is exciting about this conference. Why did you guys decide to have a new event? Why would someone want to come and be a part of this?
Thanks, Dan. It's great to be able to announce kind of the fun and exciting event that's being planned around the Convergence Conference. And I think it really came from just listening to our peers and our friends in the industry over the last couple of years. It's very much been identified that there's a gap. There's a gap in the market for a chance to get together and collaborate amongst different topics, and those topics just around agriculture and food and health and wellness seem to just need some converging, and even just around the idea of high impact and kind of high energy without maybe some of that trade show and trade look and feel. And so content is key for us around the Convergence Conference as we come together. Really very much an elite group of people that have said, hey, let's do this. Let's combine our forces. Let's combine our efforts and just come together in Regina in February to build on something great and just feel that spark of new ideas in agriculture.
Warren, your company, Convergence Growth, the theme is convergence, and that is the name of the conference. And so you're living and eating and breathing this. What is that? What does convergence mean to you?
Yeah, so Terry and I have been really just driven to find these opportunities with very much an abundance mindset that when we've talked to industry experts, it seems like there's still some silos that exist, and particularly again around those areas of agriculture, food, and health. But it's all interlinked, and so I wear a few different hats still in agriculture, but even the role that I'm taking right now at Precision AI and that high technology, artificial intelligence, drones, and protecting our food is really not actually well known in, say, the ingredient industry and how it can make a difference in terms of improving the health of the ingredients and producing these pristine ingredients. And so we just needed a platform. We needed a platform to work on. Convergence provides that platform, and the event, the Convergence Conference, provides really that opportunity to focus for 2 days together and talk about what we might want to do. So we expect people will leave with new ideas. They'll leave with some partnership opportunities. They'll leave with friendships. They'll leave with new contacts, and I'm just excited to converge together the agriculture, food, and health industries.
Awesome. You've been a part of these different events over the years, whether it's AgriTrans Farm Forum or the different strategic coach type events. What do you think is the magic when you put these ingredients together? What kind of cake gets baked that when people leave? What's the takeaway? What do you want people to take away from this event?
Well, typically, what you want to make sure is that it's the highlight isn't necessarily only the networking times. Sometimes we get into a bit of a routine where we come together and we sit in our chairs in a row and we listen to some good speakers and good content, but the highlight is the networking. I think our goal with this conference is to make sure that every single minute is valuable. And so we're going to push people a little bit into an uncomfortable zone at this conference. We're going to ask, maybe you have to raise your hand, or maybe you have to get up and move to another table. But there's certain things that I think at the end of the day, it's important to be really open and collaborative. Again, this conference isn't being put on, it's being put on with the people and for the people. And so we're going to ask the people there to just help us create really good interactions throughout. expect to see some highlights from food companies, from special ingredients, from maybe even some whiskey winners of the West that we've got right here in our back door. And I think it's just going to be an excellent chance to see things and hear things that you're not hearing anywhere else.
I love that. I take it you mean uncomfortable will be not necessarily the nature of the seats, but the nature of the growth that's going to take place. You're going to stretch your boundaries. And yeah. Well, let's talk to Ben a little bit about this. Ben, you've been around the industry for a while. You're the visionary of the legendary marketing company Ad Farm, and you guys are collaborating with the folks here on this event. What does it mean to you to be involved with this kind of opportunity, and where do you see it fitting into the plethora of events that are currently out there, Ben?
Well, and we see it lots right now, that entrepreneurial, what we call cutting edge or progressive farm organization, right? They really are struggling to find opportunities to work with peers, gather information that is relevant to their operation. They go to the trade shows, they kick tires, they do all that work, but to sit down and have a meaningful conversation with peers and collaborate with others on things that are really going to impact the industry today and tomorrow, that's where the gap is. There's lots of really far out futuristic thinking out there where, what is AI going to drive into the operation in 25 years from now? We need information that's going to impact us today and into the next 2-3 years. I think bringing the thought patterns of looking at AI, looking at precision, looking at those technologies that are almost bleeding edge today, but will be adoptable in a large number of farm operations in Canada in the next 1, 2, 3 years. That's the key to this. Ensuring people are sharing, and Warren said it really well. We have a lot of silos, whether it's precision guys or drone guys, or, when we look at spray technology and genetics, a lot of those are siloed into what they're seeing as opportunities. We really want to break those down, and how do we look at it holistically across agriculture, right? Like when you look at a producer in Western Canada, what should they really be looking at adopting in new technology on their farm? How does value chains impact them now? They've evolved so much over the years of growing Nexera canola 20 years ago and getting a little bit of a premium for it to go into healthy margarine, right? Like creating a healthy oil. Those value chains have changed so much. So discussions around that are really important for us. I think those real world opportunities are what people are really missing. And I think we can really bring that to the table through this conference.
That's a great way to put it. I was just thinking as you're talking, Ben, you have a unique vantage point on the entire industry, doing marketing in all these different agricultural sectors. Where do you think the rubber is actually going to hit the road in terms of converging technologies, and how might that relate to some of what's going to take place at this conference?
Yeah, I think it's a really good question, Dan. The industries, we always say that there's constant change in agriculture, but it does come in waves. And we look at the amount of technology that is looking at agriculture today from the outside, where they want to bring their big idea and implement it into agriculture. That's happening at a rate we've never seen before. Some of those are going to stick, some of them aren't. We market with, right now we're probably working with 40 plus companies on trying to figure out how they can make an impact into agriculture in North America. So when I look at the opportunity on farm, when I put my farmer hat back on, that's the trends that I need to try and figure out. 20 years ago, I had to do precision. I had to do mapping. I had to make sure I was getting to a granular state on my farm. I think when I look at the new opportunities, drones are coming fast, right? We need some regulatory change to help support some of these new technologies, like autonomy as well. When you look at the former DOT technology, you look at a lot of the drone technology that's here or coming. The regulatory world isn't necessarily moving as fast as what the industry may need it. But now, what are those things actually? How are they scalable? How do they work on a 12,000 acre farm in Manitoba? Those are things that are really important. And then I look at that value chain. that farmers have always said, I can do a lot of neat things on farm, but I need to make sure it's profitable. So providing all the data to a food company to ensure they can track ingredients, that's well and fine, because we know Canadian farmers can do it better than anyone in the world, but I got to be able to make it worth my while financially. All right, and I have to fit it into my abilities and business practices. So I think when we look at all that world that's coming, that consumers want to know more about their food. Warren talked about safety, right? Traceability, when we track how we produce. Those things are all coming, but we have to figure out how to make it real, right? How do we make it so it can be implemented on the average farm? How does the cost structure make sure there's some profit in it? I think as we have those type of discussions in a collaborative world, that's where the conference here has a really unique place that just doesn't really exist today.
Well said, my friend. Well, Terry, as we think about this conference, the theme is think, link, and leap. And I know you like to think and then you like to leap. But one of the core values of the farm is that linking piece. Who you spend your time with, who you surround yourself with, makes such a big difference in your business long term. How do you see this conference as an opportunity to live that core value of surrounding yourself with great people?
Yeah, thanks, Dan. I mean, we're really excited about this Convergence conference. I think there is a gap or a need in the industry, and we are. This is the purpose of putting this on, is we are looking to create a conduit to gather the most amazing farms, the most amazing agronomists, marketers, technology, business advisors, and mindsets in agriculture to celebrate success in agriculture, to look at what's new and coming down the pipe, help understand all of the things that are coming at us, and really to work together to share knowledge, to see what's coming at us, to create a brighter future for agriculture. I strongly believe that our neighbor isn't our competitor, and we need to work together for the greater good to help understand consumer demands. We need to bridge those gaps between production, food, and health. And so really, in my mind, this conference that we're working on planning is a blend of all of the most amazing agronomy, marketing, new technology, trends in the industry from the consumer, and business coaching and mindset, where there really is nowhere today where you can go and get that kind of combination of factors in a conference. And it's really to bring, like you said, Dan, the most amazing people together. We have a lot of those people in the industry that we network with, and there's been a lot of conversations over the last few years. Is there's no place to go to celebrate, to have some fun, to share success, to share knowledge, and to accelerate us all moving forward. So, we're taking a bit of a leap here, but it's been really awesome to see the type of support that we've had from the industry, and guys like Ben and AdFarm jumping on board right away to give us a hand. And so I'm really, really excited about getting together in Regina this winter and having some fun. And we've got, I think, a very exciting lineup of amazing topics and diversity. And it's going to stretch the boundaries a little bit of what you traditionally would see at a farm conference, but this is what we need to do, and we need to be kind of broadening our horizons in what we're working with. So yeah, really excited about what's going to go down here in a few months in Regina.
Well, we are going to talk to Warren shortly about the nuts and bolts of this event, because we know that your interest is highly piqued by now, and you're definitely ready to sign up and join us at this event. But Terry, there's a foundation here of the agronomists in your network and the folks that are in those agronomist network. And there's a new initiative being started here. It's kind of a new movement. Did you want to talk about that as the inspiration for this conference and what that looks like? I know you can't give away maybe all the details yet, but there is something at the core of this that started all this that I think is going to be meaningful to the nature of the event.
Yeah, I think really probably where this originally started was, we do run a peer group of agronomy consulting businesses, and we're also independent agronomy consulting. We're also part of the Power Farm group. And one of the things that came out in the discussions with our peer group of agronomists is there is nowhere to go to learn and find out what's coming down the pipe and to bring our clients to and get excited about the future of agriculture. And there's a bunch of initiatives that we're all working on. We know the consumer demands and the things that are coming down the pipe, and the demand for data and change in agriculture and climate smart commodities and a lot of these different things. So that was kind of the initial drive behind pulling together as a larger group to share knowledge and to leverage information for the greater good of all of us. And then as we started thinking about this, we realized how much of a need and an interest there was in the industry for this, because there is a gap. And talking to some of the potential sponsors and partners and other collaborators, everyone seems really super excited about coming together. So that really was the original inspiration, is we want to go somewhere where we can learn and share and celebrate and connect, expand our networks, and come home excited about the future of agriculture, maybe with a few to-dos on your to-do list and some new opportunities to help us all move forward for the challenges, turning those challenges that are coming at us into opportunities in agriculture. So that was kind of the original inspiration. And I think we do need to kind of expand that thinking further into the food production and what we're actually growing for consumers, which, there's still largely a bit of a disconnect there.
Well, let's say I'm a farmer or an agronomist or somebody in the industry, and I've been sold by, your handsome and intelligent proposition here today. You guys have done a wonderful job of selling it. I'm all in. Warren, what does it look like when I go to attend this? What can I expect? Is it in Arizona? Is it in Regina? Give us the details here. We're ready to sign up.
Thanks, Dan. Well, first of all, this first year, this launch year of the conference, and maybe in the future, we want to keep this to a really tight and an exclusive group. So we will have limited spots and limited availability in Regina this year. But I think that creates really good conversations when the numbers are tight like that. So it's an exclusive elite group. So we do expect that the demand will be high. And in terms of Regina, why not? Why not Regina? It is
in February. Yes,
in February. It's a destination.
Let's be honest. Everybody in Western Canada can get to Regina in probably 2 hours or less, whether they're on a plane or driving in from Saskatoon or something. But no, the city and the area, and even the companies that are kind of headquartered in that area, and the surrounding farms and businesses have all been supported and welcoming us into Regina. It'll be a great time. They will take care of us well at the Hilton, and it's a great spot to be. So. You'll want to get there. You'll want to get there soon. Everything you'll need to find to register and see some of the speaker highlights and as the program builds here is found at convergence.ag, convergence.ag. And so everything will be found there to get you registered in. The conference will run, it'll start on a Tuesday night. You do not want to miss that Tuesday night welcome reception. We've got a local business that's been in business for, I don't know, I think it's probably over 40 years. And they're going to welcome us in with a bang for a liquid mixer on Tuesday night. And so please show up. It's a full day Wednesday. We're going to end Wednesday with an amazing inspirational, feeling good talk around resiliency. And so you won't want to miss our keynote. And then by Thursday on February 8th, we'll get you up and into an excellent half day, and we'll be able to get you out of there by kind of early mid-afternoon. And so it's a really great, efficient use of our time together. And just looking forward to having everybody combine in Regina, February 6th to 8th, 2024.
I love that you guys are kicking it off with the wisdom that comes out of gin, second to none. I'm sure that'll set the precedent for the whole event. Well, let's wrap this up by getting maybe Ben and Terry and Warren to give us your final pitches on why you think folks should join us at this event. Ben, do you want to take it away?
Sure thing. Thanks, Dan. Yeah, and as I noted before, I think when you figure out what those trends are that can land on the farm over the next, 6 months to 3 years, I think that's probably one of the most important things I see coming of this. The second thing, and it's been mentioned here a lot, is just being able to sit with a really good group of thinkers, right? That you can chat with over a coffee or a beer or one of the liquid mixers on Tuesday night. That there's not enough of that anymore, and I think people really want to get back to that face-to-face discussion and meeting. And really, Terry talked about it, celebrating and really digging into the potential and the opportunity that we have in Western Canadian agriculture. I think when you look at that, this is going to make it a must see destination for us and to attend this event.
Thanks, Ben. What about you, Terry?
Yeah, I mean, simply we want to converge the brightest, the most passionate and knowledgeable minds in agriculture. And I think really we want this event to be, there's going to be something for everybody from students or your kid to your partners. It's really going to touch on almost every aspect of agricultural production, where things are going, mindset, mental health, strategic planning, all those things. So we're really trying to bring everything together, and we want to have all of those amazing people there that we want to hang out with, learn from, and have some fun with, and something for everybody. So that's what we're excited about.
Awesome, Terry. What about you, Warren? What's your final words to get people in the door here?
Yeah, I think everything's been so well said, and I just believe that, honestly, it'll be that energy that you probably haven't felt in a while in agriculture, and I think that's just something we're going to keep focusing on. Dan, having you there and having you bring your talent and energy into the show as well is just going to be amazing, and so looking forward to the smiles and the handshakes and seeing everybody in February.
Well, the reason that I'm really excited to attend this and be a part of this event, which I'm really honored, is I am never the smartest person in the room by quite a bit. I've made that a mission, and it's really done me well in life and in business to rub shoulders with amazing people that are doing great things. And it's not just your own thinking that you'd be evaluating and you'd be learning from others, but it's really hearing what other people are going through, hearing their insights, networking, and surrounding yourself with really great people. That makes a big difference. And to get out of the weeds, to see the forest for the trees, and get some perspective as we dive into 2024, if you can believe it. That's the year we're going to be living in here shortly as the calendar turns over, 2024. I mean, you've seen it in movies a long time ago. I grew up in the 80s, watching this stuff on VHS. Now we're going to be living it, and this conference is going to be a big part of kicking that off and thinking, linking, and leaping is the action items in February at the brand new Convergence Conference being held in Regina, Saskatchewan, February 6th and 7th. See you there.